I taught briefly in math.
I don't know about all that.
Good afternoon, folks. I'm going to ask for your attention, please. I always feel so bad when I interrupt folks who are having a good time and having a good conversation. But we do appreciate you being here today. I want to welcome everyone. It's an exciting day for WCC for lots of reasons. But again, thank you. Of course, one of the big reasons is we're kicking off our 60th anniversary, our celebration of 60 years here. For those of you who don't know me, and I think literally I've met everyone in the room, but I'm Dean Sprinkle. I'm president. Real privilege and a pleasure to be the president of Whitfield Community College and a part of such a fine organization and so many fine folks and such a wonderful community that we serve. As many of you do probably know the history of WCC, we started back in 1963 as a branch campus of Virginia Tech. And at that time, classes were held downtown in the Simmerman building. And there were a whopping 105 students at that point, and an even more impressive total of 5 faculty members. So out of meager beginnings come great things, and we are so excited to be where we are today, and I will give you some updates on some of those numbers. WCC now consists of 6 buildings. This campus, the Whitfield campus, as well as off-site locations that we have at the Crossroads Institute in Galax and the Henderson in Marion. And we additionally recently added a WCC, what we're calling the WCC West location in Marion. And that facility, for the time being, will house several new short-term workforce programs. And and that will become the college's third off-site location. During most of the 21-22 academic, or during the most recent 21-22 academic year, we had a student head count on the curriculum side, and those of you who are familiar with community colleges knows you have a curriculum side, and you know that you have a workforce non-credit side. But on the curriculum side, we had 2,820 students enrolled for this most recent complete academic year. WCC currently has a total of 93 full-time employees, and 93 full-time and 32 part-time employees. Over the past 60 years, there have been many changes, but throughout that time, our college's mission has remained pretty much steady and the same, and that current mission statement reflects that. We are a comprehensive community college that is, quote, dedicated to teaching excellence and student success, with the community college as an educational and a community leader. And we try to adhere to and value both of those roles. We provide lifelong and personal growth for the folks that we serve in our communities. We provide cultural enrichment, and we are part of the economic advancement efforts in our region. WCC is proud to serve our communities as we carry out each aspect of this college mission. At this time, I will ask Dr. Rhonda Catherine Wood, WCC's Vice President of Academics and Institutional Advancement, to share a few details about plans for celebrating WCC's 60th anniversary. Rhonda?
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. We are very excited to launch this special anniversary celebration. Our theme, you can see here, is going to be empowering students and community for 60 years. We have a lot of activities planned. We'll be highlighting the successes of many of our WCC alumni over the next several months. We'll be reminiscing about some historical college milestones, and we plan to host a 60th anniversary gala event in August up at the Meeting Center, so I hope you'll all be able to join us then. As part of our celebration, we of course will do a special 60th anniversary campaign to seek funds to help the college continue meeting the needs of our students and the communities we serve. So to kick off the special campaign today, I have the privilege of introducing the Honorable Thomas Jackson. Tom, a native of Wythe County and a current resident of Carroll County, has been a longtime friend and supporter of WCC. During his tenure in the House of Delegates, Tom was instrumental in securing funding for the construction of the building that we're in today, Smith Hall. He also served as chair of the college's first ever major gifts campaign back in the early 2000s that helped raise over $3 million for WCC. He and his wife Cynthia established the Paul and Alita Jones Memorial Scholarship Endowment in memory of her parents. And Cynthia also directs the WCC choir that has received numerous recognitions. So today Tom has an exciting announcement to help launch our 60th anniversary campaign. So please join me in welcoming Tom.
Good afternoon. It's great to see everyone here. It's exciting day for the college, for me. I first want to say that having been around Dean for an extended period of time now, several years, literally, this college is in really good hands with his leadership, and I admire him and appreciate his passion and love for this college, what he brings in that regard. And of course, he has probably the most capable and amazing person behind the scenes with him and Rhonda that anyone could possibly hope to have. I, as you, love this college and have appreciated over the years what it has meant to the community. For my own circle of life, I have seen a lot of people who came to what they thought was the end of a road that didn't have much hope be able to retool themselves through additional educational opportunities here and start a new life that gave them new hope and a new economic opportunity. And that function in itself, I think, has just been essential to the continuing of our community as it grows and people are able to sustain themselves. I know there are some young people that come straight through. My experience, especially when I was in the General Assembly, when I spoke at a graduation here, I was just amazed at the number of folks who were starting a second career, beginning a new chapter in their life, and WCC was the essential piece in their being able to do that. And you all know that, but I think when people drive by the college and we get busy in our daily lives, we forget how essential a college is to a community. I remember someone showed me a picture in the General Assembly one time of Virginia, and it had pins in it, and I guess the state board members here will know where I'm going with this, but they had pins for economic activity, and they were clustered. And they asked us what, if we knew what the clusters represented, and the answer was it was colleges, community colleges, universities. So they are really essential, as we know, to a thriving community. I hope I get through this okay. I have been struggling a little bit with the voice, but I'm sure Cindy will help me if I get stuck here. I was called by a really good friend and someone I admired greatly and asked a question in my law office one day, and that is, would I go over to the Waddell Nursing Home and agree to be the power of attorney for a lady that was over there who needed somebody to pay her bills? Now, that is not exactly the phone call that I'm looking for the future of my practice. But I thought so much of this gentleman that called me that I agreed to do it. And so I went over to Waddell, and that was the first time that I met Jamie Hill Gentry. She had a nickname of Dolly, but I am not going to refer to her as Dolly because I never saw her as Dolly. Dolly did not fit her in my mind. I will tell you that after 5 minutes in the room, I can assure you she is what we country folks would call a pistol. You didn't have to ask her twice how she felt about anything. She was a very small lady, and she was in the nursing home not because of her own health, but because in the bed across from her was her husband, who had had multiple strokes and was unable to speak. And she left her home in Spring Valley, which she dearly loved, as a historic home, and came to Waddell to be in the same room with him so she could spend time with him and help look after him. Maybe I need to stop there and you get a sense of who she was. But anyway, I started paying her bills, and my dad would have been proud of me. I never asked my dad anything about his finances, and I sure wasn't going to ask Jamie about her finances. But I just thought it was odd that we could pay her nursing home bill and his nursing home bill every month, and the money never ran out. But I didn't ever go to the bank and ask, and just paid the bills. When her husband passed away, I helped with the funeral arrangements and getting her to that. And one day she asked me to come in to see her, and she said, I want you to open the second drawer right there in the room. And it was this big portfolio from a local bank. And I looked in it, and my mouth fell open, and she said, I know, I didn't realize quite we had that either. So I had seen her will that she'd written, and she left everything to 2 rescue squads. And I thought, the amount of money we were talking about going to 2 rescue squads, they would never, ever need anything again the rest of their existence, but I didn't think that was necessarily the best estate planning to leave all your money when it gets into 7 figures to 2 rescue squads. I knew that wasn't what she intended, so we talked through what she could do, and her passion in life was education and kids. And that's where she went with the discussions, and WCC was near and dear to her as well. So I want to stop there and then back up a little bit and tell you something about her. She was born in 1926, grew up in Spring Valley. She graduated from Freeze High School in 1946. I saw a picture of the graduating class. It was quite a bit less than a football team and a little bit more than a basketball team, but it was not a whole lot of people. But again, I think she was a pistol from day one because she went to Mary Washington College. Most of you all won't know who this is, but she ran with Mary Glenn from Galax. Mary Glenn and her together must have been the most dynamic group of women ever at Mary Washington. I mean, both of them were unbelievable. And she got her master's at the University of Maryland. She married Pennick Gentry in 1952, and she did her postgrad work at the University of Maryland, at New York University, and at American University. I'm going to tell you this next piece about her just because I think it tells you a little bit about how she looked at life. Her postgraduate work, here are some of the titles of what she worked on. A study of school-aged children referred to Arlington County Juvenile Court. History of federal aid to education. A look at another minority group in New York City, the people from the Dominican Republic. So I think you can see from that where her heart was, without a doubt. Now, she was fortunate in that what she loved in life, which was education and kids, intersected beautifully, dovetailed with her husband, who was the vice president of International School Services, and his job was to go all over the world and establish schools in foreign countries for U.S. corporations that had companies in those countries. So I had, and I'm sorry that I don't still have this, she had a world map with pins in it where they had been during their lifetime, and it was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, they had been everywhere. Not just one pin in a country, multiple pins in the country. So they went all over the world. He helped establish the schools. She was a teacher. She was a principal, I think, in the Dominican Republic. She was a guidance counselor in the public school system before all this occurred. I think she was the first assistant principal, lady assistant principal, in either, I think it was New Jersey, which again tells you who she was. I don't think Janie ever took no for an answer from anybody. But she also had the unusual experience of having been held hostage while she was in the Dominican Republic. And if you'll remember, she had, part of her graduate work had been a look at another minority group in New York City, the people from the Dominican Republic. So they were there building schools. And I didn't remember this, but some research showed me that when the Vietnam War kicked off and President Johnson was, at that point, our president, the Dominican Republic was having a civil war, and the United States was worried that the Dominican Republic would go communist, so we kind of intervened in that, which created some angst among at least part of the group in that place. And they basically held about 700 Americans for a period of time and wouldn't let them out. So we sent the Marines, and Janie and Pennick Gentry were two of the people who the Marines got out of the Dominican Republic. Pretty interesting. She was a strong Methodist. Her church was Ebenezer United Methodist Church in Spring Valley. She loved her community dearly. She was involved in lots and lots of different things. She was one of these pillar types that we all look back and remember as being so instrumental to the community growing and developing and being better. So when to fast forward back up to writing her will, her new will, she wanted WCC to have two things. She wanted to have lots of money for scholarships for students, prospective students. She hoped they would come from Grayson County, but she also left the door open for that to be whoever was in financial need, and she also wanted the college to have the ability to be involved if it needed to be in a capital construction project or a capital project, to have the ability to do that. She wanted to jumpstart that process. I can tell you from my experience with this building, I think it took 7 years to get the money for this, from the time that I put the initial study into the time that we broke ground. So having someone willing from the private sector to inject funds into the college for things like this is absolutely critical to being able to meet needs. I'll tell you how old I am. I remember sitting in the preparations committee and having the president of the Virginia State Library say to us, there is coming a day when libraries will no longer be judged by the number of books they have, but rather by the amount of information they can access. So I remembered that. I just never forgot that. Well, that happened rather quickly. At the time he said that, there were a lot of books and not many computers. But we all know where we stand today. And this building, I guess we broke ground in '97, is that right? So you get behind in technology in a hurry, you get behind in resources in a hurry if you're not careful. And through no fault of the community college board, there is just not enough money made available during legislative sessions to meet everybody's needs and to keep things updated and where they need to be. So I am extremely excited and proud to, on behalf of Ms. Gentry, to announce that the total gift to this college from her estate is in the amount of $1,338,000. I used to ride around in my truck with my dad when I was 5 and 6 years old on the farm, and he was not one to talk a whole lot. Sometimes he just, every now and then we'd just be riding along, he'd look over at me and say, you know, we were put here on earth to do more and think about ourselves all the time, and look back and just keep right on driving. And then I'd sit there and think about that. It's funny that without him ever having to pound it into me, I remember all these sayings from an early age. But one of his things was that you need to leave your community in a better place than you found it. And Janie was from that generation. I hope we're not losing that spirit as we continue in life and we have new generations coming along behind us. But she was a remarkable lady, and it's always astounded me that in my practice, the people who've given the most money for kids are people who didn't have kids. That's just amazing to me. But her life was about education and about children. And in her death, she has ensured that education and children will for many, many years be in good shape and be better than it could have been otherwise. And I'll say this in closing. I think she left a little over $700,000 to Henry for scholarships there. And Grayson County, Carroll County, and Galax each have over $1 million each to send seniors to college. And right now we've got 14, I think, young people from those 3 high schools that are going to the university of their choice free, absolutely free, because of her. So it's a comprehensive. She had no subcommittees or any studies that were done. She just sat down and did it, and I'm telling you, it is a comprehensive plan to change her community. And I love her for it, and I know that this money's going to be well spent here at WCC. Thank you.
I don't know when I've ever been so excited and so appreciative of the generosity of others. And that many of you are very generous to the college, and we certainly appreciate your contributions as well. Tom, I want to thank you for helping to facilitate this extraordinary estate gift, and we certainly thank the Gentry family. You know, one of the things that Rhonda and I have talked about is that we certainly regret that we were unable to meet these fine folks, and certainly Mrs. Gentry. And we've all heard of what an amazing individual she is, and what an amazing life she has lived, and how many people that she has helped during the course of that lifetime. And she's one of those folks who not only helped her local community, but she was a global thinker as well. She was a citizen of the world, and thought globally as well as locally. Tom mentioned that she shared her wealth with others in the community, and her legacy, and we truly are honored that she chose WCC to remember us as part of that estate, and to share her resources with us and those that we serve. Her gift will carry her legacy and her husband's legacy forward over time, with providing access to higher education and helping those individuals make better lives for themselves and their families, and as Tom said, a reflection back on our community and support our community. The Gentry Estate Gift will achieve these goals through both scholarships for the students from Grayson County, as well as the other areas that Tom mentioned, as well as this capital gift. And those of us who are in and of and about the community college understand the challenges of trying to make sure that you have facilities that are state-of-the-art, that do meet your community needs. And this gift will go a long way to helping us. There continues to be a need to help students of all ages to attend colleges, and these needs take many different forms. In terms of the capital gift, I'm sure that one of the questions that might be rolling around, and those of you who are here today might be rolling around in your head, is, well, what is that capital project? Well, we're in an interesting situation. The answer is that there are a number of needs, and we're exploring several different options that will position WCC best as we move forward to meet the needs of the communities that we serve. As our world and our economy, and as Tom referenced, as the technology continues to change at a rapid pace, the types of teaching spaces that are needed also continues to change as well. And this gift will go a long way to helping us either renovate existing spaces, or to lease, or perhaps even purchase new types of space on the WCC Withel campus or in the Twin County area. We look forward to working with Tom as executor of the estate and the WCC Educational Foundation Board of Directors to determine how to best invest these funds from Ms. Gentry to support the program development that will benefit students in our service area for generations to come. Tom, again, I want to thank you for the work that you've done, and for working with Ms. Gentry to help realize her desires and wishes and this incredible gift to WCC. I do want to note, folks, that this is Ms. Gentry's gift is the estate gift is the largest single donation that WCC Educational Foundation has received since it was established in 1981. So that is pretty remarkable. And on behalf of the WCC students, on behalf of our faculty and staff and our board members, I want to thank you for, again, helping facilitate this wonderful donation. And again, of course, we'd be remiss if we did not thank the Gentry family. And at this time, we would invite all of you to join us in a reception to help us celebrate this momentous occasion. Thank you all for attending. Please do join us. Please come back and join us. Come on, Carl. Two Carls.